In this video, I'm going to be talking about human-in-the-loop Bayesian optimization. And what I mean by human-in-the-loop in this case is that you have a Bayesian optimization algorithm that will suggest a new experiment, a next experiment for you to run. And then you take that suggestion and maybe you bring it into a chemistry wet lab or something that requires human input rather than this sort of programmatic function to run, and then you bring those results back to the algorithm. And so let's take an example on this next slide that shows what we're talking about and how to implement this. Okay, so in this video, we have a script. We installed the dependencies before. And right here, you'll notice that there is an X train and a Y train. These are 5 existing data points that you've collected, the parameters associated with those, and then 5 output values, the thing that you would measure. We're going to run that. It'll take a moment. And from here, we're going to generate a single next suggested experiment. And at the very end, we have that suggestion. And what we're going to do is take this into a web app. Now you can kind of pretend that this is you performing the wet lab experiment, but for the sake of this example, we're just doing something outside of that programmatic loop and bringing it in manually. So we have our x1 and our x2 values. We copy and paste those in, press submit. Again, this is like you running your wet lab experiment, and this is the result that comes out from that. And then this is the key step. We take the parameters that were suggested and we bring that back up into our X-train data frame. And then we also take the Y value, the Brandon function value, and put that back in. Now, of course, you could do this in many ways. You could have a database that's being updated and you bring new data from that database whenever it's needed. You could have an Excel file. This is sort of the simplest example where we're just hard coding the values and bringing them back in. So from here, the process is iterative. We just run the cells again, which will give us a new experiment, a new suggested experiment, which we can then run manually, get our new values, and follow the same process above where we copy and paste those in. And finally, just for the sake of completeness, we'll show one last iteration here, where once again, we'll take our suggested experiment, run the experiment manually, get the results, and bring that back in to the initial cell. Okay, so if you can imagine here, this is something where notice that you can start and stop the Python script, your optimization script, and bring in those results manually. Thanks.